About a month ago, I did a video showing all the exterior detailing products that I use on cars, and today I'm going to be doing the interior products. The point of this video and the other one is basically to show that it's very simple. I know there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of product reviews out there, people pandering different stuff or different techniques, but I don't really switch up very often, so I wanted to show you guys how simple it can be for me, and hoping maybe you guys will get some inspiration from that as well. So today we're doing interior, and we're going to start from the ground up using the vacuum cleaner first. This is the 4-gallon or 15-liter 5 horsepower wet and dry shop vac from Rigid. They sell it at Home Depot everywhere. It's only $99, which is like $75 for you guys in the States. And this thing can really suck, which we like. So it's small, but I find when you're detailing, you're not really sucking up that much content. It's mostly just like dust and small debris. So you only really need to empty it once or maybe twice every couple of months, which is perfect. I had the bigger one before. There's like a polished version, it's a cylinder, and I really just thought it looked cooler, so I bought that one, but this one's better. I prefer this one. It's actually the first vacuum I ever had when we started detailing, and then I have it again, and I really like it. The only thing that's different on it from the factory setup is there's an auto detailing kit you can get from Rigid, and it includes this hose and then a couple different attachments. The hose is longer and it's more flexible, which is better for getting into cars, and then this tip, this is the only one I use. It's a smaller one, so all the sucking power goes to a smaller tip, which means it sucks harder. And it just works perfect for detailing. I don't really need anything else. I never wished it was better in any way. It's kind of just perfect. So we're probably a couple minutes into this video already, but I just figured out how I'm gonna lay it out. So we're gonna do all the machines first, vacuum, extractor, steamer, and then do brushes, liquid chemicals, and then miscellaneous stuff at the end. So this is the Mighty S300H, and it is kind of small. Despite the size, it is still a heated hot water extractor and performs amazing. I used to have the Mighty 8070, which is basically just a much bigger model. And then at some point along the line, we stopped doing super dirty interiors, and I was really just spot cleaning carpets or a seat here and there. So I didn't really need to be carrying around the big machine. So I got this one, which has a lot smaller footprint, obviously, and it performs the exact same. I've had this one for 2 years now, and it's been awesome. This one has the clear Mighty head attachment, which I think everyone really honestly needs. You can see when the water goes from brown to clear, or murky to clear when you're sucking it up, which allows you to know that the seat or carpet upholstery is clean, and you can move on to a different spot. This is the steamer I use. It's by Dupre, and it's called the Dupre 1. It holds a liter of water. It heats up really quick and is very hot. I believe it's about 350 degrees. The advertised running time is 50 minutes. However, that is if you're holding the trigger consistently. So if you're doing an interior or an exterior, you're obviously not going to be holding that consistently. It's going to be stop and go. So you can do a full interior or a full exterior depending on what you're doing with one full tank, which in my opinion is awesome for such a small little unit. And it comes with a ton of different tips, but I'm gonna show you the 3 that I actually only use. So there's this pinpoint tip, which is pretty much good for general cleaning of almost anything. This is the upholstery tool, so you fold a microfiber towel over this triangle, clip it in here, and then you can do carpets, upholstery. I've seen people use it on hard plastics and stuff as well, but I typically just don't do that. And the last one is this super stiff bristled brush. This one just slides over this tip, and you've probably seen me use it on wheel wells, engine bays, and then undercarriage stuff. It's way too stiff for anything inside or on the exterior of a car, but it is extremely good at cleaning really stuck on grease and basically on surfaces that you don't have to worry about scratching. So engine blocks, metal, stuff like that. Yeah, and this thing's been great. I haven't actually had another steamer other than this one, so I don't really have anything to compare it to, but I know it works for me. This is the entirety of my interior brush collection. I'm gonna run through this kind of quickly because a lot of these do the exact same thing, they're just different shapes. So first up, CarPro synthetic hairbrush. What I'm using this for is when I'm doing an initial vacuum to knock any dust and debris loose from surfaces. It's super soft, so it's not gonna scratch anything, and it kind of just makes that process a lot easier. So when you go to APC later on, you're not mopping up all that dust with a towel. It's already initially a bit cleaner. Following that, but the same concept, upholstery brush. So when you're vacuuming, it's very hard to get all the debris out of the fibers. They really hook it in there. So you need to use a brush to knock it loose. This is a Chemical Guys super stiff bristle brush, and it works awesome for that. This is exact same thing, but it's super skinny. So for areas like between the seat and the center console, or say the gas pedal on the center console, this isn't gonna fit, but this one is. So you can reach in there and pull the debris out and just make the vacuuming process a lot easier. Next up is the pet hairbrush. So a lot of people use that squeegee or that little blade thing. I tried it once and I hated it. I've always liked the brush method, so it's rubber, which grabs onto the hairs and allows you to vacuum them up a lot easier. Regardless, pet hair removal is gonna take time and patience, but this is my favorite way to do it personally. Following that, you're gonna be doing some shampooing, so we need an upholstery brush for that. This is another Chemical Guys brush, but it's actually a tire brush, so the bristles are a bit stiffer than their upholstery brush, which in my opinion allows you to get a better foaming action from the cleaner that you're using, which in my opinion, for upholstery, makes things a bit easier. You can see exactly where you've shampooed. Next after that, APC cleaning, so all your vinyls, plastics, and leathers. This is CarPro synthetic brush, so it's the same as that one, it's just orange, so I can tell the difference. I'm using this one for carbon fiber, gloss blacks, infotainment, stuff that's very delicate that I really don't want to scratch. And then this is the same concept, but it's boar's hair, so I'm gonna be using it on the plastics, leathers, and harder surfaces that I don't really have to worry about scratching as much. It's still soft, like it's not gonna damage anything, but it's not quite as soft as that. Both these brushes, they're CarPro, they're orange, and they're plastic, so they don't deteriorate. They last a very long time, in my opinion. I just think they look good as well. And then the final brush is the horsehair leather brush. This one's made by Gion, and I really like the shape of it. It looks kind of wonky, but it's actually super ergonomic when you're holding onto it. And I really do think a dedicated horsehair brush for leather is very, very necessary, as it's the safest way to clean leather, in my opinion. Last up is the sprays, the liquid cleaners for the interior. First, we're gonna look at the all-purpose cleaner. So I only use Meguiar's APC and 3D APC. They're both green, and honestly I can't tell the difference when I'm using the other one. I typically just grab whichever one's cheaper. Usually one of them will be on sale, so I'll grab that one. This one in here right now is Meguiar's APC. They both work great for cleaning general surfaces, vinyls, leathers, pretty much every surface in the car except your glass and your upholstery. Sometimes your APC isn't gonna cut it, so you're gonna need to step up to a degreaser. So a lot of food-based stains or sticky stuff, and sometimes stuff in door jams like grease and oil-based products, that's primarily what I'm gonna be using the degreaser on. This, in this bottle, is Pianist Hot Shot. I've been using it for a couple of years now. It's extremely strong, so you can dilute it a ton, which also means you can get a ton out of a gallon, and it's always nice to be economical. On the other side of that spectrum, when you don't need an APC or a degreaser, say you're doing a maintenance detail, the best product, probably one of the best detailing products in the world, is Optimum No Rinse. Now I say best detailing product in the world because I do believe this is the most versatile. You can literally use it to clean any surface on a car as long as it's not that dirty, because there aren't necessarily cleaning agents in this, but it is an encapsulator, so it's able to lift dirt. So if you are just lifting light dust off of pretty much any surface in an interior, you can use this. As well as this is actually the dedicated glass cleaner that I used. I stopped using ammonia and alcohol-based glass cleaners a few years ago, and basically just using this now. It's safe on everything, and typically glass isn't too crazy, where you are able to get them perfectly clean just with this. So those three cleaners basically take care of all the hard surfaces on the interior of the car: leather, vinyls, plastics, even the glass. The last thing to really do is the upholstery. So that's exactly what this is. This is 3D upholstery and carpet shampoo, and it does just that. It is the shampoo for the carpet and the upholstery. This is an awesome product. It works extremely well. It's very rare that I actually have to break out the degreaser for a heavy stain. This typically takes care of all of it. And it comes in a gallon as well, which is highly dilutable. This says it's 10 to 1, but I believe it's actually more so like 15 or 20 to 1. You really don't need that much of it. And then beyond that, the only other upholstery liquid product is Sonax Alcantara and Suede Cleaner. So using this carpet shampoo on Alcantara and Suede isn't advisable. You need a dedicated product because it's a much different substrate. This works great, and it's kind of interesting. It's the only product I've seen that comes out in a foam like that. You massage it into the surface and then dry it out with a microfiber towel, and it does an incredible job. A really common use is either suede inserts on cars like Porsche or Mercedes-Benz steering wheels have that Alcantara wrap on them. This works the best for those. I've never been able to clean them quite properly until this product right here. Once the car is clean on the inside, we're obviously going to move on to protection, and there's 3 products that I use for that. First one, this orange guy right here. I don't even think it would be a product overview without mentioning P&S Speedmaker. So what that's typically going on is wood grain surfaces, carbon, gloss black, but you can also use it on your interior windows and other hard plastic surfaces like the dash. It does a really good job of protecting those and adds a really nice finish. But if you're going to use a dedicated dressing, the one I go to first is 303 Aerospace. This can go on everything as well everything that you're going to be dressing. So leathers, vinyls, plastics. It's not going to go on the hard gloss black and the carbon fiber, but it is going to go on everything that's going to absorb, which is pretty self-explanatory, I think. Now, if stuff is super dry, so it's on an older car like some of the older BMWs, I'm going to go over to CarPro Pearl diluted 5:1. This penetrates a bit better into the plastics than this does, so if stuff's really dry, this is just going to make it look a lot better, as well as this being the primary one that I'm going to be using on leather, as I believe it absorbs and leaves a better finish than the 303. On the topic of dressing and leather conditioning specifically, 99% of cars now, their leather is coated in the same plastic that all the vinyls and the rest of the interior are coated in. So leather conditioning specifically is a bit of a misconception or a scam. You can use the same dressing on the dashboard that you can on the leather seats. There's a few specific exceptions like the Ford, the F-150 King Ranch. That is genuine leather that does need to be treated a bit differently. And then vehicles dating back to the early 70s and before that, so 60s and 50s, a lot of those were just genuine leather as well, which do require different care. But nowadays, you can use the same dressing. So you can put Aerospace 303, CarPro Pearl on the leather, and it's going to give you great protection and a great look as well. And that pretty much sums up this video. I left one thing out, which was microfiber towels, because I just use the Kirkland brand ones, the Costco ones, or sometimes I'll even grab the Walmart ones. In my opinion, if you're using them on the interior of the car, they're gonna get destroyed and disgusting, so there isn't really a point in using high quality, expensive towels in there. All the surfaces can take the poor quality towels, it's not gonna hurt anything. If there is a super delicate surface, I will grab a paint correction towel so it's softer and I'm not implying any damage to that. But other than that, general purpose towels for the interior of the car, no issue. And with that being said, this video is complete. So we did the exterior product video, interior product video. You guys know all the products that I use for auto detailing it, both sides of it, which is cool. I probably won't need to make this video for a very long time, unless say 50% of the stuff changes, then I'll give you guys an update. Probably throw it all into one video and take care of it that way. But until then, thank you guys for watching. I hope someone learned something or picked up a new product they want to try for their own car or their business. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.